Hey everybody, it's Dennis Wood here at Cinevate for yet another in the limitless supply of Video University sessions. Today we're talking about the new Proteus quick release system, which is a pretty slick little setup, really designed, it'll work with any camera and a number of different plates, but it's really designed for DSLRs, or the inspiration came from the needs of the DSLR shooter. So here we have one of our new Cinevate bags. I'm not lying, nice Cinevate logo there. And in here, I've got a fully assembled core with a big bad Nikon D3S. So what I'm gonna do is basically show you why we came up with the quick release, and also a few tips and tricks if you've got one and you want to configure it for a different base plate. So we're just gonna get this out of the way and we will show you exactly how this all works. So first of all, one of the issues, if you have a tight rig with, in this case, I'll bring this over here so you can see this. If you put a longer lens in here, you do want to slide the rig back and forth. So in other words, what we really needed is a release system that would eject straight up, but still allow you to adjust back and forth without changing everything down here. And that's what we've done. So I'm just going to set this down. And what I'm going to do is just lock the quick release lever out, and it should just lock into position. There's a little click. And I'm able to lift the camera straight up or slide it in. If I want to put it back in, you can see this is locked, and you have to be careful. Let's just get that out of the way. And as soon as you drop it in, that's going to snap shut. Make sure it's tight. If you don't take that little extra push, you run the risk of the camera sliding in or out. In order to maintain this straight eject with the slide, we didn't put a catch pin like you'd see in some of the Manfrotto systems. So just a word to the, word of caution, make sure that you just give this a little push so everything's secure. It goes on there with a tremendous amount of force. It's not going to move as long as the plate's tight to the camera. So let's explore a few of the options inherent in that quick release system. Okay, so we're now just going to have a quick look at some of the detail on the quick release plate, and we'll give you some fine points on use and adjustment. So here we have, in this case, it's a Nikon D3S, which is mounted up on the quick release. And we talked earlier about one of the requirements of this system being the ability to quick release off straight up and still allow this forward and back adjustment. So basically, with this setup, I can just lift the camera off. This will lock in place. And I've got, in this case, just a standard 503 quick release plate. So to put this back in, I just have to get it somewhere in position here and just drop it down, and you'll hear a little snap, and this will come down. This does not mean that it's tight. Okay, it's really important that you go in and just give that a little bit of an extra shove. What's kind of cool about this is that it's adjustable, and we're going to show you that now in terms of the different quick release plates that you may have already standardized on. So let me show you a few of the details on the Proteus quick release plate, which is in its essence, without a plate, is this piece right here. And you see we have these links here. This is part of our little patent pending Proteus system. And then it allows you to loosen these. Let's see if that's, oh good, we're pretty loose. I can loosen these links off, and I can show you a couple different configurations. This is not something you're typically going to adjust more than once, but you can see that with these links in place, I have the option of doing kind of a dual parallel setup, which would be something like this. I can spread it right out and drop it on the rails, which gives us the ability to height adjust. And also it gives you the ability, if you look here, I'm going to show you this. You see we built this bit of side to side play in here. So I can move the whole system on the rails to the right and then to the left by readjusting. So the reason we do that is because this fence here is adjustable. If I was to remove these two bolts, this fence can move into 3 different positions. And you might ask, well, why do we do that? Well, it's very simple. If you're looking at this design, you can remove the fence again and move it in 3 positions. If you're looking into our next design, which probably by the time this comes out, you'll see, it's infinitely adjustable. So if you need to fine tune it, it's a little easier. And what you'll find in that design is there'll be a bolt here. So you'll loosen 2 bolts here and loosen bolt here, and that'll give you the ability to adjust this. It's pretty obvious when you see it back and forth, so that when you close the quick release, it's in the right position for that plate. So you got your quick release plate. This is the Manfrotto 503 plate, and when I drop it in place, I should just hear a quick snap. You'll see it's in place, and I now have that quick release lever in its correct position, just about like that. I'll give it a little push to make sure it's tight. When I release this, this camera is going to slide right off here. I will just slide it off. But one of the things that we showed earlier is how you can do a straight up quick release. Now, what do you do if you're using a plate that's not this 503 plate? And we've shown a few different examples here of how you would set that up. So here is the system with the standard 503 type plate. So if you're using a 503 type tripod, then this plate's going to work fine. If you're using a 516, you know it uses a larger plate. It's wider and it's longer. And in this setup, you can see we've moved the fence right to the outside, and we're now able to use this plate. If you're using the smaller RC2, the small square plate that a lot of photographers go, well, you're just going to move this fence to the very inner position, and it's set up for those small little RC2 plates. So there you go. There's an illustration of the different plates, and I believe the world's only multi-plate adjustable quick release system, which we're pretty proud of. So there you go. We've showed you basically how to adjust, and again, that business here with moving the blocks back and forth was basically to just make sure that if you do move this fence, your camera's going to move to the left or to the right, depending on which plate you put in, of optical center. This bit of adjustment, this side-to-side adjustment we built in, makes sure that when your camera's on there, the optical center is lined up with your rails. So again, we're always trying to maintain that optical center, so if you put a matte box out front, your lens isn't skewed to the right or the left. So there you go. I believe that covers the Proteus quick release plate, which is the world's first and perhaps only multi-plate adjustable system.